Good evening, my friends and family. Now, again, this is for the crew only. It's important I say this, for the crew only. If you do not know me and you are not part of my crew, you gotta get out of this video. Do not listen to this. Do not watch this. This is not for you. This is not for your ears. Your ears cannot handle what I'm going to say. Because a lot of you, your ears are very sensitive. You're very soft. Your ears are soft, what you intake into your eardrums. So you need to leave. Now, I'm naturally not a very offensive guy. I don't use a lot of profanity in normal conversation. I like to think I have a good command of the English language. So I don't need to use profanity all the time. When I do use, say, the F word, I believe I'm getting fired up. I can feel it in my heart that I'm starting to get upset. And it's funny that we use that word, isn't it? Like that is a universal word for being angry or being in love. Also the same thing. Very interesting, though, right? But there's some now from my last message. Notice the media has switched to something different. You see that? You see how they had a lot of people protesting and rioting and doing all kinds of weird things, and then all of a sudden it just stops, like the perfect brakes that you put on a car just stops on a dime. My old Jeep Grand Cherokee, it was a 2022 or something. I almost got in an accident, and I hit the brakes and it stopped on a dime. I mean, these are the best brakes I've ever had. It was insane, and it saved me. But isn't that interesting that these can just the media can just stop on a dime? Isn't that wild? And then it gets you guys all fired up. Now, maybe not so much you guys, maybe not so much my crew here, because you guys are enlightened, right? Enlightened to what the media and all governments do, right? Now, I have friends all over the world. We speak from time to time, and the rest of a lot of the world is very jealous of the American government, very jealous of the freedoms that we have. We have a lot of freedoms, that is a fact, but I think that's important to say we have a lot of freedoms. We don't have all the freedom. I mean, you have all the freedom as long as you pay, right? As long as we keep working, as long as we keep paying and putting back in the economy, yeah. Which me. I'm a proud member of the working class. That is a fact. But if you don't pay, right, you buy a home, you got property tax, you got to pay. If you don't pay, say you bought a home cash, you just bought a home cash, you still have to pay all your electrical bills, everything. If you do not pay, and there's only one company for electrical. Now, I've gone into this. I think I'm going to bail out of that because I can get myself on a rant. But same with the car, right? Where you just go, you buy a new car. See, I use the F word again because I'm starting to get fired up. It starts to get me all mad, you know. But you go, you buy a new car. You still got to pay registration every year. If they don't, they tow you away. Now, that's freedom here, but there's some freedoms that we don't have. That's a fact, but that's okay. Let's move out of that. I've talked about that ad nauseum. It's too much. You know, look at my little sugar-free Coke I got here. Took a shot of vodka before we started. Don't worry. It's always funny. Like when I'm on stage, sometimes I'll smash a beer or something during the set. And then I get a big old air bubble, and it's hard for me to sing. I mean, I can cover it up pretty well, but I'm getting better at not chugging a whole beer during certain songs so I don't get a big air bubble in my throat. You know what's pissing me off these days is we're still in the era of the motivational speaker. You know, where it's just gone wild on YouTube. It's gone wild. And I met a famous, I guess famous to people that watch a lot of the YouTube. I didn't know he was famous at the time. You know, internet famous. Famous YouTuber for being a oh shit, man. What was his male confidence speaker? That's the wrong way to put it. I forget what the emotion is that he promotes. But I thought that was good. I looked him up, and it does. He's got a million followers. He's got a whole thing, and he's just posting videos all the time on how to carry yourself as a respectable man. You know, but I met him, and he's doing okay, right? But he seemed a little weak to me. So he's doing all that. He seemed weak. I'm not going to call his name out. He's a nice guy, but I'm just saying he may see this, but maybe it'll be good that you seemed pretty weak, and you seemed a little disingenuous. Like you found an angle, how to make money, how to make a couple bucks, but it's all false. It's all farce. You got a bunch of, he's got a bunch of roommates, doesn't live alone. Now, maybe that's fun. It is fun to have roommates and you get your buddies hanging around. But, you're not making that much money. And what's happening is you're calling yourself an influencer. And you know how I feel about influencers. I feel it's everyone's an influencer. Anybody. Adam Sandler just put out his new movie. And he's an influencer. No, he's not. That's not his job. But he's just everyone who makes money and is talented is an influencer. Just naturally, you don't have to be all you do is be an influencer. I mean, who started that? Was that the Kardashians? Was that the beginning of really having zero talent, but you're able to sell, what you do? We're in the age of no talent. I believe is how that goes, man. It kind of makes me nuts. I'm trying not to be, one of those guys who's constantly unhappy at every movie or every music or everything, and I'm just like, ugh, it's lame. I'm trying not to be that guy, but it's hard. Sorry, it's hard. And I think, a good friend of mine said this to me. He goes, you know what? I'm starting to get tired. Here's what he said. He goes, I hate this humble Ian. I hate this new humble Ian. And I was like, that kind of hit me. Because it does seem like I was being a disingenuous at being overly humble, which is also annoying. That's also freaking annoying, right? Doesn't that make you mad? It does me when someone's being overly humble. If you're awesome and you're being awesome, just be like, oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate that I'm being awesome. So I'm going to pull that back. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to pull back that overly humbleness. That sucks. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to see that on stage. No one really wants to see that on camera. Be humble when it's real, not when it's fake. When you're like, you're almost like you're searching for another compliment. No, you are. No, you're great. Be like, man, you were great up there. And you go, nah, I wasn't. No, man, a few songs sucked. No, you just go, oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Even if you felt like you weren't, which most performers always are in their head just judging themselves like crazy. But as a performer, don't do that. Just go, oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you liked it. And then in your head, you're like, boy, I got some shit to work on. I got to work on it. And for sure, I do that a lot. I will definitely do that a lot in my head, but I'm going to pull that back. So thanks, buddy. I'm going to not be the overly humble Ian anymore. That sucks. I know it does. I know it's terrible. Disingenuous, man. I think that's the name of the game right there. Be a genuine human being, which I strive to be. All you guys that know me, I'm a solid individual. At least I'm trying to be. No, I am. See, there it was again. At least I'm trying to be. Because when I say that, I wonder if out there there's people like, hell no. But if you don't believe I'm as solid as they come, I probably got rid of you anyways. You're probably not on my radar anyways. So that's fine. That's good. And like what I've said before is, I haven't made as much money to have fuck you money. I don't have fuck you money, but I got fuck you family and fuck you friends, right? Which means if someone's like, Ian, I don't like you, I go, well, I gotta be honest, I don't care. I don't care. I got enough of you guys that like me. Love that. That's enough. That's fine. That's fine. I just need the crew, baby. That's all it is. But I'm tired. Let me get back to my motivational speaker. I've had enough of you guys, I think. Although I definitely have used some motivational speaking online. I do like a lot of you guys. I do like a lot of I don't know, like all the weightlifting motivationals that you're just smashing weight. I like it. I like it. But all this, you act this certain way, do this, that's how, see, I forget all these guys' names, all these motivational speakers' names, but it doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about. Hey, shut up about it. You know what I mean? Just shut up about it. Like all you female motivational speakers, you're squatting over a phone. You got like 187 butt pictures on it, and every butt picture has some motivational woman speech on it. Shut up about it. If you're gonna do butt pictures, just be butt pictures. Don't give some dumb motivational speech that it sucks the soul right out of you. You know it does, right? It's just like every time I have to do some dumb video or some dumb photograph, it just sucks the soul out of me. Anytime I have to do some dumb post on Instagram or Facebook, it just sucks the soul right out of me. You ever have these memories, the memories that pop up on Facebook, and it's a memory of you like 12 years ago or something, 10 years ago, and you posted some dumb picture of you on a beach or on a movie set, and you're like, motivational high life, you hashtag some bullshit. That sucks that sucks it out of you. Sucks the soul out of you. I know it does for me. Just sucks the soul out of me, man. Oh, god damn. And I'm in entertainment business, right? There's a lot of stuff, man, that I just auditions that have sucked the soul right out of me. And I go, and I had an audition one time. I had to stop in the middle of it. I go, not for me, guys. I'm out. I gotta go. Just as they're asking me to do these things, I'm just like, and it's not even bad, you're just sucking the soul out of you. I auditioned one time. Check this out, I'll I'll tell you guys. I auditioned for a pill commercial, right? And of course, you know how I feel about pharmaceuticals and all that, which I'm not going to go into too much on that, but for a pill commercial, and they wanted me to dance and then act like I was robbing somebody. So I'm dancing and acting like I'm robbing someone. So maybe it was going to be funny. Who knows? I started doing it. Halfway through, I stopped. I go, not for me, guys. Not doing that. It just, all of it was wrong. It all was wrong. When you're just sitting there, it's just wrong. You're like, oh my God. It's just like anytime someone asks you these dumb questions, like when you're interviewing for a job and you fill out, you fill out the interview portion of it. You send in your resume, and this is back before all the online resumes. You go in, you hand the manager everything, and they interview you. They're like, how much do you want to make at this job? And I go, that's such a weird question because I don't call the shots here. You have a set salary or you have the set hourly rate of what you're paying, guys. Why are you asking me that? And they would always ask that. It's so stupid. I'd always say, I'd like to make $1 million a year over here. They're like, at Outback Steakhouse? Yeah, you asked. Now, I didn't get the job, right? But they go, how much do you expect to make? I go, I want to make $1 million. And I said that as a teenager too. But I said that multiple times as a teenager. I go, you're asking. That's what I want to make. Well, it's stupid. Should I say, because I was getting, minimum wage was like $5.75, you know? And I go, I want to make $6.75. That's what I want to make. And then I want more taxes taken out. No, I said $1 million. It's a stupid question. Dumb. Don't ask those dumb questions because it's a dumb question. You know it's dumb. And then you should actually hire someone if they're like, hey, I'd like to make $1 million here. You should hire that person. God, man, it's so stupid. You know? Back to motivational speaks. I'm not even going to call you speakers. You're motivational speaks. I'm getting tired of it because it's funny. I know a lot of you. I've met some of you throughout my life. And some of you, like you don't practice what you preach. And that bothers me, right? You're out there being this is how you should be. It's like the same person that gets online and has a big long diatribe about how you're supposed to, as a man, how you're supposed to treat a woman, right? And then you find this guy's got no girl. Not only does he have a girl, that like his ex-girl is like, this guy sucks, man. You know what I mean? He's trying to find an angle, trying to find these angles. It's like the White Knights. You guys know you've heard of that. The White Knight is the guy that's always swoops up like, hey, you treat her good now, but he's always the one that treats women shitty. You know, it's usually how that works. You know, it's always the guy that calls other people cheap. You know, he's so cheap. It turns out you're cheap. You're the cheap one. You're cheap as fuck. It's always that guy for some reason. When they always call people cheap, they're like, you're the one that never reaches for that wallet. You're that guy that before that bill comes, you're like, oh shit, look at the time. I gotta go. Oh my, he doesn't even have a watch on. Oh, look at the time. Oh boy, I gotta get going before that bill comes. You know? Here's a little advice for you ladies too. You ready? The advice for you ladies in the crew. When your man takes you out, right? Or say you first go on a date and he's flipping the bill. Most of the time the man flips the bill. That's just the way things go. And which he should, right? I'm old school, which he should. And if he doesn't, that's because you guys have been together for a while. So it's like, go ahead, honey, you pick up that bill. But, here's a good thing to do. If he's flipping the whole bill for the whole night, when he gets up and goes to the bathroom, order him another drink and you pay for it in cash. That's a big tip. He'll like that. Also, when the bill comes, just go, let me throw in. And he's supposed to go, nah, I got it. But mentally, that's cool. It's a cool thing to do. Now, if he allows you to throw in on a first date or something, that maybe that's not the guy for you. That guy sucks. He's supposed to go, no, I got it. But it's a good thing to kind of go for the wallet. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. When you're out with your buddies and you got a buddy that's flipping the bill, you go, hey, let me throw in for that. And he's supposed to go, nah, man, you're good. You're good, buddy. I got you today. That's just kind of one of those social things you kind of need to do. It's the guy that never goes for that wallet, bothers you a little bit. He just never goes for it. You kind of don't want to go out with him anymore. Even if you're flipping the bill, you go, no, I got it, bro. Don't worry about it. It's good to just go for that wallet. It's just good. It's good to do that. Let me get back to the influencers, man. They're killing me. Sorry, hold on a sec. Influencers are killing me. All this social media is killing me. People in my business life are like, you need to post more. You need to post more. Fuck that. I don't care. I do not care. I'm only going to post if I have something to promote or if I find something very fun that whatever, but it's a very rare occasion because I don't care. You don't need to see my face. It's not important. You don't need to see my face. Like the only reason on camera is because it proves a point. Like I'm doing this to prove a point. So when it's good because video is so easy to upload these days, so you can just do that. I'd rather you hear my voice. Who cares what I look like? You know what I mean? But it just shows you how narcissism works, how narcissistic we are. That just all of you, everyone's just like, oh, you got to see my face. You must, hey, here's me at the beach. Here's me at the park. Who cares? Nobody cares. You know? It's stupid. You know, and it does weird me out sometimes when there's like an overabundance of posting for all the world to see of your kids. It's weird. I understand you're proud. It's like me with my dogs too. You know, I post my dogs. I like seeing my dogs. But it's kind of cool. You can kind of go back and see when they were puppies and when your kids grow up. I get that part of it, but man, I mean, there's just so much grossness online, and people just can just see your kid, you know. But I guess I do have a little over paranoia. I'm paranoid about that also, but I've also had enemies in my life, so you know they're just staring at you. You know, but when you're up to something, people can just look right into your life. They just feed into your narcissism. You have to post your face all the time. You have to post your face. You know what I mean? You don't have to. If your business has nothing to do with your face, don't post your dumb face. Who cares? Get a talent, you know? But yeah, a lot of these influencers, I just want to smack you all. I want to just give you one right in the back of the head. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? You're not important. You're not important enough to fill up whatever internet void is out there. All your dumb videos. Who cares? You know, try to man up. Go to work. Get something done. How much energy is spent scrolling and posting nothingness? You know, if you're going to post something good. You know what's good are these instructional videos. I love them. They're great. Just little instructional videos. How to fix your washer and dryer. All of a sudden a solenoid goes out and you get to just throw that in. I didn't know I could do that. I thought I had to buy a whole new dryer. Nope, just throw this little piece in. We're done. We're done. Even I could do it. Take the panel off. You throw it in there. It's done. I think that we're just at an age where men just you'll waste your money and buy something new when it could have been fixed. You're just wasting your money. And I don't care how much money you got. It just sucks to waste it because you work. How many hours do you have to work in order to pay for something like that? You know, it's just such a joke. Your whole everything online is a joke. It's all fake. It's just so much fakeness. It makes you crazy. And everything's like this AI thing. Hey, did you see this where this shark bit this boat in half? Yeah, that's not real. You know it's not real. Double check everything. Make sure you double check everything that you get online. Don't get into some argument with somebody over some political bullshit because you saw something online that wasn't real. It's not real. And they don't care about you. Hey, your political party does not care about you. It's their family first, then you. So whatever helps their family, then your family's next. Or maybe third, fourth down the line. Especially if you're working class these days. It sure feels that way, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like you get less for working hard? It's a real thing. That's a real thing. I've owned my own business for a long time, and I got severely hurt, got infections and all kinds of things, and I had to get that fixed. So there's the SSR or RP or whatever the hell that is that we've been putting into our taxes. Well, guess what? I couldn't get it. You know why? Because even my whole life of working for other people, and I've been putting into this fund, I work for myself now. So they go, well, it's not loss of wages if you can't work because you work for yourself. And I go, that makes no sense. That makes zero sense. And it's literally my money. I was putting into that. You're forced to put into that when you pay your taxes. And they won't give it to you. You know? So that's why you got to be on your own. Handle your own shit. Do not, and I repeat, do not look for the government to save you. It's not going to happen. Your family will help you because you're loyal. Your friends will help you because you're loyal. Government will not help you. Do not argue over the government. Now, people do say some asinine stuff online. Oh boy, do they. Do they ever? But sometimes when those messages are that long, I go, how much time you got? How much time you got to write something so long and then argue with 25 other people? Why do you have that much time out of your day to do negative stuff? Why do you have that much time? Go to work. Pay attention to your family. I mean, most of you, everybody here in this crew, you guys are paying attention to your family. That's why you're part of the crew, because you're good fathers, you're good mothers, you're good sisters, you're good brothers. And by God damn it, stay with your family and fight for your family. I can't say that enough, because I see too much of you getting into fights over social situations. Pussy ass social situations. Dumb things. And I mean, if you're causing agita and headache and breaking up a family, well, there's a few things. You got to go, or you need to be handled. That's just the way it goes. You got to go, or you need to be handled. If you're causing turmoil within a family unit, you got to go if you're causing problems. Everyone knows, as I'm saying that, I know you have somebody in your family, an aunt, an uncle, a distant cousin, and they're causing turmoil. They got to go. Or they need to be slapped in the back of the head. And here's what I tell them. I go, hey, you're causing, say, my mother a problem. You're causing my mother to cry, which ultimately hurts me. So now I have to be involved. You have to take it easy. She's a good woman. You can't do that. Now the problem is too, especially in my family, if you're hurting somebody that's a good person, especially that's higher up in my family, well, there's a lot of us that's going to come down on you because you're a problem. You can't do it. You got to protect your elders in your family. Even if they're going senile, they're going crazy, that happens. You gotta find another way to mentally speak to them. Little mental gymnastics. But you got to be the smarter one. Everyone is a lead of their clan. There's a small lead. There's a hierarchy. There is. It is what it is. You need to figure out how to speak to them so they get it. Without, if force doesn't work, you got to try some finesse. Speak to them like a child. Try some finesse, right? You speak to your kids differently than you speak to an uncle that's causing a problem, right? Well, maybe you got to speak to your uncle like a child. Maybe you got to set him straight. You got to give him examples of what's happening there. What you're going to lose mentally, because a lot of time physically doesn't work. Putting a face to it, not this online BS. It's too much online fighting. I do none of that. And I refuse to do any of that. I refuse for any of you guys to do any of that. If you have a problem with somebody, no matter how big or small, give them a phone call. Give them a phone call or show up. Or a text, sure. Personal text, but I'd like a phone call. Send a personal phone call and say, I don't like what you're doing over here. You're gonna need to let me give you an example. Here's a good example. I was running the limousine company. There was we had a client that I guess somehow was late to her event, her company event. The driver that I hired, I guess, had a hard time navigating within the small streets of the Hollywood Hills, and it was like a big limo, And anyways, she, I guess, was late and said it may have costed her some things. Well, she was lying. I'm sure she was fine. She was a few minutes late, and the driver was like, it was hard for me to get out. There's no way you can drive fast through these things with that such a big limo. Also, she was late getting out of the door. Anyways, point is, she talked to a lawyer. She talked to a lawyer and wanted to sue the company, which the company was me, right? The company was me. So what I did, I personally showed up. We have all her information. Obviously, you have to give us all the information in order to rent these cars. And what I did is, I'd farm out the business. I didn't own all these cars. Anyways, so the point is I showed up and I talked to her personally. And by the way, she didn't know I was owner, manager, whole thing. And I showed up just in regular street clothes. She thought it was just some old man that would have to go through and talk through lawyers. I talked to her personally. I said, and I didn't threaten. I didn't do anything. I said, you don't want to do that. Why would you want to do that? I was nice to you. I even knocked the money off. Said it's on me. Sorry that you were late. And she tried. She was still trying. Anyways, I told her, I go, you don't want to do that. We live in the same county. We live here. I know everything about you. I know your address. I know everything. Why do you want to try to take food out of my family's mouth? Why are you trying to take money out of my family's pocket, my friend's pocket? Because that's who worked for this, was all friends and family. I go and I take that personal. You're taking food out of off our table. Not good. These drivers got kids. So she dropped it because she was wrong. She knew she was wrong. She was just trying to do a come up. And I think that's what happens when there's no face or voice to it. It was all just through text and emails and lawyers. And I didn't even get a lawyer. I just go, I'll go talk to her. Done and done. And that's happened multiple times, not with that company, but in life. Hey, why are you trying to ruin my life? Why are you trying to do that? And they drop it because I go, we're not going through lawyers. It's me. You have to deal with me. And I'm not being threatening. I'm just saying, hey, we're not going to do this whole thing. You just have to talk with me. So I expect you guys to do the same. You got a problem with anybody in your family, give them a phone call. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to try to take food out of my mouth and my friend's mouth, well, you're going to get a phone call from me, respectively, and that's just how that shit goes. That's how it goes. Now, obviously, there's so much of that, and they make it so a lot of these things, like credit card companies, insurance companies, they make it so you can't even talk to anybody. You don't see anybody. It's literally automated systems, which that's scary. That's a interview all on its own. So I just wanted to step in and throw the crew some more stuff. I've been out of the loop lately. We've had some family health issues, and I've had to be out of town, and that's taken my brain out of a lot of things. But that's okay. We're back. We're back in business. We'll handle it. That's all there is to it. All right, you guys. I expect loyalty. I expect you guys to act with the utmost. Just like you'd want your fathers to act just like your heroes. I don't want no sissiness out there. I don't want all this internet nonsense. I like a little crazy. There's nothing wrong with a little crazy out there. But just handle business, okay? All right. I'm going to do another shot and get out of here. See you guys next time.